Our greatest temptation as human beings is to make it about ourselves. Now, I'm not talking about self-confidence or self-worth. Those are valuable. We need those things. But particularly when we get a lot of education, like I have a lot of degrees, a lot of education, when we get smarter, more knowledge, more understanding, more skills, when we get better at our craft, more athletic, more able to nail it when we give a speech, it's so easy for us to, when we get the applause especially, to make it about ourselves. That is our greatest temptation. But the truth is, we don't even know our own motives often. We don't know the future. We don't know the results of our actions. We can't control circumstances. There's so much outside of our power, and yet somehow we often think that we have it figured out. In fact, the surprises in the history of science show us that God is trying to tell us, I believe, when scientists discover something, oh my gosh, it's totally different than what we thought. He's trying to show us we don't have it figured out. Now, in the last video, we were talking about, is God a narcissist? We said that the whole universe points to this being. This being, everything in the universe points to this being because everything came out of him or her. He designed it all. And when we see the design in creation, we're like, wow, that really points to this being that's beyond it. And this being is beyond our ability to really understand. Any being that we can fully grasp and understand is actually not worthy to be worshiped. But worship has another purpose. So I brought up that in the last video. I referred to Adam and Eve and brought up this did God really say situation, right? So the enemy was trying to get us to question, this is what he often does, is God a narcissist? Is God really trustworthy? Does he really have your best in mind? Does she really have your best in mind? Is God really for you? That's what the enemy tries to do. Is God trustworthy? But also, Adam and Eve were given a choice between two trees, the tree of life and the tree of knowledge of good and evil. Now, the tree of life associates to God. God is the source of all life. Jesus over and over and over said, I am the life, the way, the truth, and life, the resurrection and the life. And the tree of knowledge of good and evil. Isn't that interesting? It's knowledge of good and evil. When we get more knowledge, we think that we can define good and evil. We have it figured out ourselves. And so we're tempted to make it about ourselves. And the enemy's lure to that tree was, you will be like God, knowing good and evil. You will be on the throne. You can figure it out. Now, I think worship, God designs worship not just because everything points to him. It's because he really wants to free us from us. Satanism is not about worshiping Satan. It's about putting us on the throne, and God wants to free us from us.